So it brings us to Harvey Barnes.
Yeah,
What's your,
Harvey Barnes.
what's your thoughts on the one cap England winger?
What's my thoughts? My thoughts are I was very interested to see that no sooner had Scotland qualified for the World Cup than he was doing interviews with Sky Sports News
You know,
and not dismissing the idea. Look, do you know what? It's a difficult one because there's a part of me saying, my God, imagine we had a £38 million and he could play a variety of positions, left, right, through the middle. He's jet paced. You know, it gives us. Could you imagine Ben Gannon Doak on one side, Harvey Barnes? I mean,
aye,
now you're tooled up.
aye.
But the thing that's bothering me is, wait a minute, you were given this opportunity. It was something that was being discussed. You clearly didn't fancy it then.
Aye.
So what's changed? I wonder what could have
Oh, I
possibly
could
have
play a World
changed.
Cup, aye.
Yeah, that makes you think that you want to be considered for selection.
Aye.
I think that Steve Clarke will slam the door shut on that because
Yeah,
I don't
so
think that he was very happy with the way it was dealt with
and he's
previously.
he's a very loyal manager, isn't he?
And for Steve Clarke now to tell one of these guys, one of these foot soldiers, you're not making the plane because we're bringing in Harvey Barnes,
Imagine how you'd feel.
it'd be so. I think old Harvey is he's left it a little bit too late.
Well, comments coming
I
in.
tell you what terrifies me though.
Go on.
Well, you know how I think Harvey Barnes qualifies on the back of having a Scottish mother.
I think that's the case, yeah.
Yeah. You know who else has got a Scottish mother?
Go on.
Trump.
Listen, if you can
And
play
by,
up front,
and by the way, you could just about see it. And two things. One, imagine it because he seems to think he can get what he wants anyway. It's his country, therefore, if I want to play for Scotland in this, then clearly I should.
Aye.
But to see if he hijacks or see if he starts
no,
saying Scotland's his team,
I'm not having that.
not having him either.
Aye.
He can go and sit with Harvey Barnes.
Aye, definitely.
And there's me not getting a visa now.
In the comments, Rebel says Keith, he's a good player. Scott says thought he had an England cap. He does. One England
And a
cap
friendly.
and a friendly against Wales in 2020. Rangers.
Have we not got the photographic proof of that?
I think we do. And Rangers is okay says, I know people will say don't because he wasn't part of the campaign, but he walks into the Scotland team and
He
offers
does.
pace with Scotland.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to argue with that. And
No.
talent-wise, he does. But it's not.
James says, not for me, turned us down, and his heart is obviously not in the right place. Scott says Clarke is loyal normally to his players. That's where I finish up. He's a really good player, an excellent player.
And he'd make us better.
Aye, of course he would.
Of course he
but
would.
Is he's not that much that you're going to sacrifice.
No, when these guys have done all the hard yards and they've broken their back for Scotland, and I just think there would be something really unedifying about that. Now, I wouldn't have minded if Harvey Barnes had thrown his tuppence in and wanted to be part of this qualification and did the work to help us get there.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Even Harvey Barnes, how could you look at yourself if you took somebody else's seat in that plane?
I know.
Nah, not for me. No, and I hate to say it because there is no argument with that. He would automatically overnight make us better.
Yep.
And be one of our,
best players.
Yeah, 100%. But I think there are some things that principle has to be adhered to here.
Completely agree.
And I'd be stunned if Steve Clarke at this late stage. I think it would have been different if Harvey Barnes had been prepared to come when he didn't know he was going to get to a World Cup. But to just say now, these guys have qualified, I can jump in there. Nah.
There was also
off you pop, Harvey.
I do think it was just an online rumour, but Callum McGregor, if he came out of retirement, would that be different?
Well, that is different, isn't it?
He's already put in the hard yards for Scotland. Not in this qualifying campaign, to be fair.
No, but he's been part of the growth. He's been part of the whole thing. And I think he was encouraged by the previous Celtic manager to take a step back. And now that previous Celtic manager is the previous Celtic manager. Who knows?
Who
knows? And I don't think any of the players could begrudge him it.
If you were Steve Clarke, would you ask the question or would you wait and see if McGregor came?
I wouldn't ask the question. Right. But if he came to... I once helped in a roundabout way reintroduce Scott Brown to Gordon Strachan's squad, if you remember, when Scott Brown was encouraged by the previous Celtic manager to take a back seat from Scotland. And then it was only a few months later and Scotland were going to Wembley and I helped bring the two together and help suggest that it might be a good idea. And the two of them cracked on, and Scott Brown come back. So I've seen it done. It can be done.
Would you? Yes, you wouldn't be that surprised if it did happen.
I would be. It's quite a major thing to hang your boots up, one day, and then just a few months later. It's very unusual, but as I said, I've just mentioned there, I've seen it done.
Aye.
And I don't think that anybody would really begrudge Cal McGregor if he did want to come back in. He would say, I'm not sure that Cal McGregor, this sparked controversy. Would he walk into that Scotland midfield?
What do you think? See, Lewis Ferguson is a brilliant player.
Lewis Ferguson put in an absolute power.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, is he now?
Is he now a nailed down starter?
Cemented his place in the starting
Pretty much.
Because I thought he was outstanding the other night.
Pretty much.
And then you've got Gilmore to come back.
And you know what? I'll get pelted on here because I don't want to speak about Billy Gilmore. I'm a fanboy, but Billy Gilmore, as I keep saying, makes Scotland better. He's in my midfield.
Oh, he's brilliant. But Kenny McLean, and by the way, I was so happy for Kenny McLean because
that's just one of the great stories.
See when he came on the other night, see if you look back at Twitter, I know it's not the be all and end all, but see the stick he was getting coming on, and you're like, lads, he's playing for Scotland, and then the way it unfolded. But, so happy for him.
Yeah, and for Steve Clarke, because the kind of the criticism of Kenny McLean would be, Steve Clarke always, but yeah, you're right. And do you know what, guys? You just look at what happened. You look at the evidence before your eyes. Steve Clarke's not doing it for any other reason than he knows that Kenny McLean will do a job for Scotland.
Never let him down.
Never let him down. Never lets us down.
Aye.
So, maybe it's time for people to sit back, put their kind of whatever beef it is that they've got with Steve Clarke to one side, and just put their hands up and say, do you know what? The guy actually does know what he's doing.
Aye.
He's had 4 campaigns. He's qualified for 3 major finals with a Scotland squad. We've not been near a major finals in all the time before. He comes in, 4 campaigns, gets to 3, and by the way, we only lost out in a playoff to get to the other one.
Aye.
And that was against Ukraine, and nothing about that was real. That was a really weird set of circumstances around that. So no, I think finally, hopefully, Scotland, whether you're a big Scotland fan or not, but you can't be bored with the national team, and maybe these are the guys that criticise Steve Clarke, that I think we should all just accept now. The guy's got a fairly good idea, probably better than the rest of us, about how to manage our national football side.
Aye. Look, we've got comments coming in. Let me make one more visit to the comments on Scotland, Keith, if that's okay. David says, I thought Ferguson was average, kept losing the ball. What corner he put in for Shank's goal, though? But all our midfielders underperformed when it came to ball retention. I think that's a mad take from David, to be honest. This one from Big Rabbi says, if Scotland could get Calmac for the World Cup, it'd be massive. Massive for the middle, good as a sub. The injuries are bad close to the time. Barnes is will be a start for years to come. This one is
that's a pro. I'm really interested. Yeah. I'm really interested to find out what the guys out there are thinking.
Andy as well says Barnes is exactly the type of player we need in the team. Our only other winger went off injured after 18 minutes on Tuesday. Kev though says if that's about Harvey Barnes, no way he should get in the team. A lot better players than him. And there's a one here as well where
better players than Harvey Barnes.
Apparently so, eh?
Okay.
And there's ones as well. A couple of people saying that the squad shouldn't be picked in sentimentality, should be picked for the best players.
And he will do that. Listen, that's one thing. Don't worry about that with Steve Clarke. Look what he did for the Euros. He binned Craig Gorton.
Aye.
So, that would be up there with some of the toughest, or one of the toughest decisions he's ever had to make. He left John Souttar behind.
Yeah.
So he will make the calls, and he won't make decisions based on sentimentality. He will always do the right thing. But I'm not sure that sentimentality is the word that you would use for the Harvey Barnes situation, in terms of he's not going to keep somebody through sentiment alone. But if he's got a guy that's done him great service and helped to be part of this whole period of, and it's been a renaissance for Scotland on the international scene. I think the players in the squad would think less of the manager.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he sacrificed one of their band of brothers for a Johnny come lately who just fancies going to a World Cup.
See, even if it's a player that hasn't really played but has always been in the squad, I think even then that'd be out of order. But